Hello, Accelerate. I trust that you're all having a wonderful Accelerate thus far. Welcome to the next session, expanding your e-commerce footprint and strategies for multi-channel growth. My name is Matt Riley, and I represent both Buy with Prime and MCF, or multi-channel fulfillment, however you refer to it. Today, we're going to be welcoming up a couple of panelists that will talk through some different services and insights that they have to share. But before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about why you are all here today. So bear with me, quick show of hands. Who here sells on Amazon today? I'm shocked. Why else would you be at Accelerate? Second question, please raise your hand if you sell on any other channels, like your D2C or social stores. Okay, maybe a couple less hands. And to wrap up, please raise your hand if you want to expand on channels beyond Amazon.com. Exactly. That's why we're here today, to talk about growing across channels and to meet our consumers where they are. So today we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to begin with the importance of selling and marketing across channels. We're then going to tap into some services that Amazon offers to support growth across those channels. But I do want to caveat, this is not a sales pitch. My job is not to sell you on these ideas and products. I am simply going to be introducing some concepts, and then I'm going to pass it over to our amazing panelists to give you firsthand knowledge of how these things really work in the real world. Solutions like driving traffic, engaging shoppers on social, leveraging customer and order information, and boosting business during the ever-important holiday season. Now, we want to hear your questions, but we will be reserving questions at the end for our Q&A segment. So if you wouldn't mind, and if you want to ask questions, please scan the QR code within the Accelerate app, the QR code scanner, then select Q&A, and from the panel on the right, you should be able to find the Q&A section, and that's where you should filter your questions. Also vote for questions that you want to hear. So I'll take a beat so everyone can scan, and we will be showing this up a bit later in the presentation as well. So, multi-channel opportunities. First and foremost, multi-channel can mean a lot of different things, depending on the business and your priorities and what you're trying to accomplish. But the key message here today is that we want to meet our consumers wherever they are, not where we think they're going to be or not where they want them to be, but really meet them where they are. So how can we do that? Consumers interact with brands across various touch points, and they start their journey in a lot of different places, a lot of them the usual suspects and places you might expect. In a survey done by eMarketer in 2024, they found that 40% of consumers start on Amazon.com and other marketplaces. 30% start on search engines, with Google leading the pack there. 18% start on a brand's website, and 10% start on social media, with YouTube leading the pack, but TikTok quickly gaining some momentum there. I'm sure you've all been hearing that now for a couple weeks, months, if not years. Now, some of you may have an idea of where I'm going with this. If your guess was that Amazon can help you across these channels, then you guessed correctly. With Buy with Prime and MCF, we've created a suite of commerce solutions and fulfillment services to bring the very best of Amazon to your other channels. In fact, I don't know if anybody here caught our VP Peter Larson's keynote this morning, but he alluded and announced some of those integrations, things like traffic driving solutions, new ways to engage with shoppers, and other key integrations. If you haven't checked out the keynote, I highly recommend looking into it. A lot of really exciting announcements. So let's dive into Buy with Prime. More than just a checkout solution. With Buy with Prime, we've tapped into a lot of different integrations to really boost D2Cs and to help out in e-commerce. One such solution, a lot of you being sellers on Amazon may be familiar with Amazon DSP, the programmatic display offering, which allows first-party Amazon audiences to remarket off of Amazon and then drive that traffic back to Amazon.com to have the conversion live there. With Buy with Prime, we have a little bit of a spin on DSP, where we're able to programmatically display ads across the web but with the unique capability for Buy with Prime merchants to use product level information on Amazon and those key shopping signals to point shoppers directly to the D2C site as opposed to back to Amazon.com. We're also big on social with a solution referred to as social ads for Buy with Prime, which really is a dynamic social ad solution that features that big, beautiful Buy with Prime badge to attract those Prime eyeballs. And important to note, it utilizes the Meta Conversion API to track conversions so that we're not missing any purchases across the customer journey. Now, conversions are one thing, purchases are one thing, but how we nurture that customer information once we have it, in my mind, that's the name of the game. And Buy with Prime merchants, when a customer orders on Buy with Prime merchants own that customer information. So how you then nurture that relationship, how you utilize those email addresses to remarket in perpetuity is a key value prop of Buy with Prime. And lastly, merchants have indicated to us that Buy with Prime has been a very key helper during the key shopping seasons, the holidays, and high velocity events, things like Prime Day or Prime Big Deal Days, which was actually just announced, I believe, on Monday for October. So definitely keep an eye out for that as well. I mentioned off the top that not only do I represent Buy with Prime, but I also represent multi-channel fulfillment, or again, MCF, however you want to refer to it. And so for those of you who don't know, a quick overview of MCF and what it is. MCF is a third-party logistics solution that enables you to tap into the world's largest fulfillment network to fulfill orders from sale channels beyond Amazon.com. And for Buy with Prime, MCF fulfills Buy with Prime orders as well. So simply put, if you have FBA, you can tap into MCF and have that take care of your fulfillment and take care of your orders. So it really sits in one pool of inventory. So no matter where your customers are purchasing from, you can rely on that single source of inventory. That's a quick overview, and that's also enough from me. I do not want to be the one talking today. So if you wouldn't mind, please join me in welcoming our panelists, Arisha Smith and Katie Davis.
Awesome. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, we're going to keep it fun today. Quick intros. Katie represents Power Digital, a digital marketing agency and Buy with Prime partner. And Arisha Smith represents Camille Rose, a natural beauty product company that uses both Buy with Prime and MCF. Thank you both for joining us today.
Of course, thank you for having us.
So let's just dive right into it. I want to talk about the biggest impacts of Buy with Prime and MCF and what they've meant to your businesses. So Katie, we'll start with you. What has the biggest impact for e-commerce businesses been that Power Digital has supported?
Yeah, I mean, it's been really impactful for the brands that we work with. And I know we're talking about a couple things today, right? We're talking about MCF and we're talking about Buy with Prime. And they work really well together. You guys are all sellers for the most part, brand managers, brand owners. At the end of the day, we're all really focused on one thing, which is creating a simple and seamless customer experience that's both straightforward and cost-effective for brand owners and brand managers. It's a very big picture with a lot going on there, but MCF has really helped to streamline operational headaches that make everything just a little bit more difficult. I love marketing, it's what I do all day, but it's hard to market a product that doesn't make it to your shelves, right? So MCF has been crucial for our brands in helping to streamline and simplify that. As our brands are really working in this kind of omni-channel world, right? Like you said at the beginning, customers aren't just shopping in one place. They're not searching for brands in one place as much as we'd all like that to be the case. So being able to integrate some of the features that Buy with Prime offers, as you mentioned, there's an integration for Shopify that Peter Larson mentioned this morning. We've got new integrations coming with TikTok and with Meta, and all of your customer information is in one place. Makes it a lot easier for a brand to start to break down those silos and become truly a business that's growing rather than different channels that are kind of struggling for growth there.
I've been working with Katie for a couple of years, and I joke with her a lot that we gotta get her in contact with our content team because her talking points and her value props are always just pitch perfect. Thank you, Katie. Moving on from that and talk more specifically about the specific products I mentioned on the top. In today's world, it's such a crowded digital environment, and standing out and driving traffic is not only necessary, but incredibly challenging. So Katie, we'll go back to you. Have any of your clients utilized traditional Amazon DSP for their Amazon.com businesses?
Oh yeah, for about 5 years now. Big fan.
I love that. So we were familiar with how the technology works. When you heard that there was a spin on DSP, specifically for Buy with Prime merchants, what were you hoping it could help your clients achieve?
Honestly, I've been really annoying about this, but I genuinely think this is one of the biggest product launches that Amazon has had to date. And I really want to kind of double click on that. This product is the only way that you are able to target viewers and purchasers of individual ASINs on Amazon, whether it's from your brand or your competitors, and directly drive them back to your D2C. That's huge, right? It's one thing we've all been kind of vying for over the years. I know that our brands spend a ton of time building out their D2C website, from content, education, creative, being able to manage those customers in a really strategic way. So being able to take the massive Amazon audience that we all know exists and drive them back to that page that you've spent so much time on is incredible, both for audience growth, but conversion too.
Yeah, this product is one of the reasons I joined Buy with Prime in the first place. I just find the value prop of it and the potential for it to be enormous. So I love that you're a fan. Now, of course, one of the key value props of Amazon DSP for Buy with Prime is its ability to tap into product level shopping signals to build those unique audiences. So Arisha, I'll turn it over to you now. Can you tell us about the unique audiences that you're trying to engage with? And more specifically, who is your brand's key customer, and how has Amazon DSP helped to reach them?
For sure. So the Camille Rose customer is one that's very particular and concerned, prioritizes what he or she puts not only in their body, on their body, and how they spend and how they prioritize self-care. So with that in mind, we spend a lot of time diving deep into the data points and understanding everything we can about our customer. So we understand what he or she purchases. However, we also understand how he or she spends their time on social media, content they may consume on television, how they participate in trending topics on social, because that really builds content and conversion and shopping. They all work together as far as what they may be watching, and then where they choose to shop and where they choose to search. As you showed earlier, the shopping search journey typically begins on Amazon. So we are totally excited about what we have been able to achieve utilizing DSP with Buy with Prime. We're able to pull in all of our knowledge of what we know about our consumer and then look to the rich data signals that Amazon provides. As Katie mentioned, it's what our consumers are shopping and looking for, what they may be searching for, purchasing in the cart along with our products and our competitors, but also if there are trending topics, if there are things that they may be interacting with on social, we're able to make that one really rich audience segment to target against. Other platforms don't have that ability to do that because they don't necessarily follow the customer and know where they are from place to place to place. Amazon is on between AWS, Prime, shopping on platform, and I feel like Amazon is everywhere, right? So with that in mind, those data signals are extremely accurate, and so we've done really well with there.
Absolutely, there's a trove of information there, and so the more we can tap into it, the better. Now, a question for either of you, so whomever raises their hand first. So both Power Digital and Camille Rose ran Amazon DSP campaigns for their Buy with Prime products. It was a campaign they worked on together. How did it perform? I'm curious what the ROAS looked like and how it might have compared to your other campaigns and their ROAS.
For sure. So we actually have a lot of fun spending time comparing the data points and how the campaigns are performing. Probably so, because we look at Amazon as a strategic partner with us. And so when we evaluate the ROAS, our ROAS for our Buy with Prime campaigns are at a 5. So I feel like we're in good company because what Peter discussed earlier is that I think bare minimals, there's a 7?
I believe so, yeah.
So I feel like, we were definitely in good company. And so that was super exciting for us because our advertising, our ROAS from some of the other platforms, when we compare how we've performed across social and then compare it against, it's 100% better. So with that in mind, and that's our individual ROAS. So we look at the combined ROAS of 5, but the ROAS of just between on platform and off, it's 100% better. So either way, it's a win. That's how we see it. That's a consumer, and so we continue to spend time optimizing against that to see how we can continue to grow.
I always love when things are 100% better. That is, can't
You
get
and
much
me
better than
both.
that.
Right.
Can't get much better than that. Amazing. Thank you both so much. We're going to pivot away from Amazon DSP now and talk a bit more about social. So a quick point, Buy with Prime merchants, when they sign up for Buy with Prime, they gain access to what's called a Buy with Prime marketing toolkit, which in essence works as sort of a brand guideline toolkit. It equips merchants with different copy that they can incorporate in things like their email campaigns, their websites, legally approved marketing. But it also equips merchants with that big, beautiful Buy with Prime badge to use on their assets. And we have a functionality that I mentioned earlier called Social Ads for Buy with Prime, which automatically syncs your Buy with Prime catalog with your Meta catalog to give tailored ads for your shoppers on Meta who've expressed interest in your brands and your products. So Arisha, we'll go back to you. Can you tell us how you've been using the Buy with Prime badge in your marketing, and why is being able to display the Buy with Prime badge in your ads important in the first place?
For sure, it's a game changer. One thing we like to do is, as I mentioned, Amazon is a strategic partner with us. So that means our organic content includes Amazon as part of our content strategy, meaning our email messaging, our email marketing, our SMS marketing, and our organic social. There's a time where we have to educate our consumers that they can purchase our products utilizing Buy with Prime on our website. That's like several complex steps that our consumers may or may not know. So there's the education process there. And then from there, spending time to help them understand purchasing Buy with Prime on our site does not mean that you're not a loyal consumer with us. That just means that we're able to get more products to you more quickly. And you have not only the delivery promise, but the returns and so forth. It's a hassle-free purchase. So our consumers taking that understanding, we use that as an educational toolkit. We use the educational toolkit, and then we also spend some time using it in our paid social to help close the gap to conversion. If consumers may or may not know about the brand or haven't purchased with the brand, heard of it, and we're on the fence, that's an easy way to remove that barrier to purchase because they'll see, again, the badge that they know, they're familiar with, the platform that there's no barrier to purchase, to give our brand a try. So again, we use it in our organic, we use it in our paid, and together we see a great return.
Yeah, there's a lot of trust in that Prime badge and that Prime
sure.
logo. Fantastic, thank you. Katie, I'll turn to you. So with Social Ads for Buy with Prime, how has the automated solution helped streamline the process for your clients' social efforts?
It's been really easy. To be honest, we all love a test, we all love a new integration, but sometimes there can be hiccups. So we were hoping for the best, but if you've ever set up a Meta campaign, it's incredibly similar. There's 1 or 2 steps in the beginning, you link those catalogs together, but once that's done, it's a very similar process to just setting up a traditional Meta campaign. Like we mentioned, that big, beautiful badge. I think that's the new branding, by the way.
It is.
Run that by them. Let me know.
I like it.
Big, beautiful blue.
Ooh.
You gotta have
Yeah.
consonants.
But we ran some tests, right? We wanted to see, does this badge actually work? Does it increase engagement? Does it increase conversion? Is it getting people to the page? We ran it across Meta. We ran it across TikTok. I'm incredibly excited for that larger TikTok integration. And in nearly every single test, we saw engagement and conversion increase. Kind of blew me away. Like I said, I was expecting some good results, but nearly every single time, this is something that brought more eyeballs and more users to the page of our brands.
I love hearing that nearly every time it performed better, but I do have to double click into that because I'm just too curious. Any example off the top of your head?
Yeah, I know Arisha just talked about how we did with Camille Rose, but thinking, I know we're approaching holiday, right? So last holiday, we partnered with a sort of challenger electronics audio brand, incredibly competitive space, didn't have the quite share of voice that some of these big players have. So we wanted to test it on Meta. We put the badge in some creative, we put the identical creative without the badge, and in the ones with the Buy with Prime badge, we saw a 63% increase in click-through rate. And that can be a metric in an ad platform, but what that means to me is that's more users getting to that page for similar cost, more opportunities for revenue, and like I said, we're driving to a D2C where there's education, there's beautiful brand content. You're now able to retarget that person on other platforms or the Amazon DSP, right? You're able to bring that person back in a way that we haven't been able to before. So it's more revenue and a bigger kind of opportunity there.
More revenue, more opportunities. That's the name of the game in a nutshell. Thank you for that, Katie. So as I mentioned earlier, conversions and driving traffic is just one piece of the equation. And honestly, I might argue that what you do with that customer information after the purchase is maybe even more valuable than the purchase itself. So that's why we want to dive into the customer journey now. And what can you do with that order information once someone has purchased on Buy with Prime on your site, because merchants own the customer information. So Arisha, I'll turn to you. How has Camille Rose used that customer information, like email addresses, that you've gotten from these completed orders?
So the email information and the order information, we lean into that heavily. First of all, having the email information for the customers that purchase Buy with Prime is a big deal. I really think you should tee that up. It's a really big deal because at that point, we know that there's an ease of purchase. There's just more opportunity to again, increase loyalty, increase average order value, and to kind of understand a little bit more of how we can grow them into a native Camille Rose consumer. And I say native because at that point, once you've subscribed to email, we have your email address and we can continue to educate you. Why would we not convert you into our SMS? Email is a wonderful marketing tool, but SMS, you get faster conversions and we can create more customized segments. And also you can do kind of a back and forth conversation that feels a more high touch point. So we really enjoy utilizing Buy with Prime, accessing that information because it opens up several doors that we wouldn't have, again, of a really high quality customer.
Love it. I would love to tee up these things more often, but I said off the top it wasn't a sales pitch, so I can't. So thank you for teeing it up.
Of course.
That customer information is just so important when building those remarketing lists, when nurturing these customer relationships. So love how you've been able to utilize that. Katie, we'll turn to you. Have you helped any Buy with Prime merchants implement any unique strategies that have been successful for re-engaging existing customers?
We sure have, yeah. Oh man, I could talk for hours on this one. Like you mentioned, Arisha, we've got email, we've got social, we've got the Amazon DSP, right? Those are kind of my three favorites right now. We're big fans of omnichannel, as I've mentioned already, but I want sellers and brands to also think about the fact that, like you said, we've got owned programs too, right? Like this doesn't necessarily need to always be a pay-to-play situation for some of this information. And as Amazon sellers, customer information has been a black box for quite a long time, right? So this is really great to be able to access those users. Via email, we're able to do a couple things. Whether you're a brand who is kind of channel agnostic, you don't really care where the sale happens, it's still a customer, it's still a sale, or you are a brand that's really focused on growing one pillar of your business, we're able to tailor your email list and your communications accordingly. For example, sending out emails ahead of Prime Big Deal Days for the Buy with Prime sale you're going to be running specifically to those customers. You know they've tried it before. I know Peter mentioned 95% of users are very likely to try it again, right? It's a great customer cohort to have and to understand a bit more about. On the alternative, sending out email or even paid advertising to custom bundles or kits you have exclusive to your D2C. You know this person bought once with Buy with Prime. Maybe it was a one-click easy purchase. Let's upsell them. Let's give them a bundle that's exclusive to the D2C. So like Arisha said, you can keep them coming back, increase the stickiness, and really create a brand loyalist. And then same thing with social and DSP, right? We're able to do the same thing. I think Amazon's DSP has a lot of tools for learning about your Amazon customer. Audience insights is kind of buried in there as well. We can create lookalike audiences. take that customer information, plug it into Meta, and create a lookalike audience. It's a completely different audience source that you're not able to use anywhere but here. So being able to use that both paid and owned media has been a really big opportunity for some of the brands that we're working with.
I love how creative you're getting with the audiences. I think that's fantastic. It's such a valuable asset, and the way you're plugging it in is clearly paying off. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Katie. Now, we've got one more note to talk about here, and then we're going to get to the Q&A. So if you did scan the QR code, feel free to vote on questions or submit your own questions, and we will be showing the QR code one more time. So I think that's my time. The last piece we want to talk about here regards seasonal events. And sellers have indicated and told Buy with Prime that Buy with Prime helps extend that holiday selling window. Prime 1 to 2 day shipping means that last minute shopping is possible, and MCF fulfills orders in as fast as 1 day. So around the holidays, for folks like myself that procrastinates, it is a godsend. Other merchants leverage excitement of Amazon big shopping events like Prime Big Deal Days and Prime Day. And Katie, I know you were talking about that a bit before as well, so I'll turn to you. What have these extra days of selling meant for Power Digital's clients?
Honestly, some of them can be game changers. I know we've used that word. We're starting to sound a little buzzwordy up here. But we've been able to look for a lot of our brands exactly how many days that they're unable to ship as we approach key holidays, right? Like the end of Q4. That can be 3 to 5 days. For some brands, that can be 7, 10, 12 days as we get closer and closer. We're able to look at what's the conversion lift you're seeing with the Buy with Prime side. We're also seeing that conversion uplift on native checkouts too. So then let's calculate that out and see exactly how much revenue we could be leaving on the table by not having something that can ship this quickly. So just simply adding in the Buy with Prime button or multi-channel fulfillment has been able to see sometimes even thousands of dollars in revenue that a brand otherwise would not have been able to tap into. Mm-hmm. And as we're approaching the end of the year, sometimes we may see that our revenue targets are looking a little soft. We're getting a little nervous about that. So it's a great opportunity to find some incremental revenue. It can be stood up pretty quickly from the Buy with Prime side. So it's a huge opportunity. And from just a human being perspective, if I can take a step back, if I'm somebody who's shopping and I'm a procrastinator too, if I need a gift for my mother-in-law in the last minute and I need it immediately to make sure I can save Christmas, right? You're the brand that can jump in and help save the day. And that's really what helps create a great brand experience with a customer. It brings people back, happier customers. Those are brand loyalists for us.
Yeah, if I was smart, I would start my holiday shopping now, but I know I'm going to wait.
I never will.
Thank goodness that these
maybe
solutions
next year.
exist. Maybe this is the year. Arisha, we'll turn to you. Can you tell us about Camille Rose's Buy with Prime campaigns during Prime Day? What promotions did you offer, if any, and how did they perform?
For sure. So with this past Prime Day, it was amazing for us. We ran we layered our discounts. There was a 20% discount. And then for consumers that purchased at least $100 worth of products, we gave them an extra 10% off. So you already get the discounts and you get the free shipping and you get provided to you in a timely manner. That is an excellent win-win for our consumers. The other thing that we were excited about is this year, our campaign performed 200% better than the year before. And it all works together. We ran Amazon DSP. We also had advertised it a little bit early through our organic, our email, our social, created those unique segments in our organic outreach. And then from there, we were able to see an uplift right away. So it was awesome for us. And then we were also able to begin our promotions a little bit earlier with the Buy with Prime on the site. So that gave us an indicator of how it's going to perform once Prime Day begins, and if our forecasts are on point and what we can expect on platform with Amazon. So again, we take a holistic approach and realize and utilize all of the wonderful assets that Amazon has.
I love how you just wrapped everything up there. All of the things we talked about, they're not meant to be siloed, right? It's not ADSP, it's not social ads, it's not customer information, it's not seasonal events. How do they all work together? I love that. Katie, we'll go back to you. Has Power Digital supported any merchants during key shopping events with Buy with Prime? And can you share any positive outcomes that have come from that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we worked on Camille Rose with Arisha, but thinking back to, I've talked a ton about Q4, obviously it's on my mind, but stepping back from Prime Day specifically, we worked with Gab Wireless, who I see over in the crowd, a leading technology brand, kid-friendly, teen-friendly, wearable cell phones, that kind of thing. And we worked with the Buy with Prime team on some co-marketing efforts that one of the biggest opportunities and things that we took advantage of was the ability to start the sale a couple days early before Prime Day, which is, again, something I never thought Amazon would do. But able to start it on the site, be able to, like you said, Arisha, get out there with outreach, email campaigns, DSP campaigns, the Prime badge inside our social creative. And it's a really great opportunity, and something we saw is that rising tide lifts all boats situation. On-site conversion starts to pick up, Buy with Prime orders pick up, and on Amazon orders start to pick up. So what once was a 2-day event on Amazon and tons of traffic became a 4-day event starting Sunday on the Buy with Prime orders. Increasing every day, that pool of audience becomes bigger and bigger. And now as we look toward Prime Big Deal Days, I'm very interested to continue to use those customer information details and retarget those people, kind of expand that lifetime value out. But it's a great opportunity. It's not something you're able to access with other products. So Buy with Prime has really made it possible.
Absolutely. And I just got to say, I think it's fantastic you're able to brag about such a positive story with the merchant in the room. That's phenomenal.
That's a win.
That's such a win. That's fantastic.